Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M4A3E8, but it's not any old Easy 8. This one is Fury, the tank from the film, the same name, starring Brad Pitt as Sergeant War Daddy. Well, this one is located on the north spawn of Erlenberg, and it's being commanded by Town Terrier of Philo. Now, what can I tell you about the Easy 8? Well, it carries a 76mm high velocity gun, capable of 115 alpha and decent penetration. But what makes this tank different from the standard Easy 8? Well, it's got better handling than the standard one, because in the film, he's got a better crew, therefore he can move his tank about faster and outmaneuver the enemy. So basically, the M4A3 Easy 8, in actual fact in the film it was the A2, not the A3, it's just got a better tank than the standard Easy 8, but it's not as good as the Thunderbolt, the tank that was used by Lieutenant Colonel, I should say, Abrams, who later became the Joint Chief of Staff and the head of the American Army. He used to have a Thunderbolt which he bolted extra armor onto the front. But you can see this one, it's the one with the gas mask on the front. And that's the one from the film, which is actually at the Tank Museum at Wellington. Okay, well, looking for the enemy, nobody in sight yet. Now, Town Terrier is a streamer, so you may see his games on stream. And sometimes they're absolutely hilarious because he does put sound clips in as well. And I suspect that this video actually came from one of his stream games. I'm poking out because there might be an enemy up there. Nobody in sight yet. Oh, no, there's one there. There you go. And it's an AMX 12 ton. He's fired around in this direction, but he missed. We got one in. Another one it. Yes! Good shot, but we took him around from the T67. He's just around the corner. And we're going to have to pull back because the T67's got quite a fast fire rate and is quite deadly. Got good penetration on its gun. We might get to shoot through this gap if we can see any enemy. Now the M4, well, what can we say about it? Derived from the M3, but of course it has a full turret, whereas the M3 doesn't. Oh, T67 pokes around and fires another round into us. 115 hit points, the same basic gun. Gets one penetration, but a low roll into that DK. Lots been said about the M4 as being one of the most ubiquitous and highly produced tanks in the history of the American Army, the US Army. Oh, Type T-34. Of course, this is another ubiquitous tank, highly produced by the Soviets, but of course this version is a Chinese version, the Type T-34. I don't think you can get shots through that window, but the moment that tank comes around the corner, he's going to get hit. I think he's waiting for us to cope rather than him doing it. And we spotted quite a few enemies. In fact, we're surrounded by them at the moment. Here we go. Oh, we missed the opportunity to shoot there by going to sniper view. Ah, now here's a tank we can pen. It's the M3. That's the predecessor of the M4. And we've got hit in the rear by that T67 again, so we quickly need to dispose of these tanks so we can go after that T67. And two of those got past, but we got good hits into them. I think that was a fire in the BK, because there was some small damage afterwards. Oh, look at that ammo rack on the T28. But we're still taking damage from that T34. Okay, using the cover. Took another round from that 76mm gun. Was it 57mm? Yeah, we're taking damage from a Strodny Viz 39 behind us as well. No, try to manually aim, doesn't go on. Didn't give enough lead on that one, I think. But there's a huge amount of damage. We're up to 1.3k of damage so far, but we've lost the loader. I'm not... Oh, he's put it back in. Good. He did spot that. Now, the enemy lost that T-67, so thankfully we were safe from having to destroy him. I think somebody must have taken him out while he was trying to attack us in the rear, whilst we were dealing with all those other tanks. But good job for Town that he was taken out. Oh, he's faced the wrong way, does a High Calibre, shoots him up the ass, and he's gone. 2 shots was all it needed. There's only 4 enemies left, and they're a little way over there. And we just got hit by an archer over to our right. We need to deal with the archer. Get behind this ridge line first. One of the good things about the M4 is it does have fairly good gun depression. And it's going to aim directly at that SU. Oh, well, didn't get a shot, didn't get a kill. But can we get this last archer, this last enemy? He's behind the ridge line, and no, he's just been killed by the T-67. Wow, well that was a bit frantic towards the end. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this one. And it's the first class tanker for Town Terrier in the Fury. In fact, it's the first class tanker he's had in this tank. And yes, he did get an explosion on that T-28. He just went up like a rocket. Well, blew his turret off completely. Fire for effect, a sharpshooter, a hand of God for surviving battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy tanks, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. But best of all, he got an epic medal. He got the High Calibre. And the win 8 for that game, 5806, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team scores. Well, there you go, right at the top of the table, 1,618 hit points of damage. The next high scorer was the T3485M, 1,190 on the enemy team. And then came his AMD 178B with 913, and the Hetzo with 771. When it came to kills, well, he shared the top slot with the Hetzo. Both got 3 kills apiece. But when you come to the base XP, you can see Town Terrier's ahead. He's got the 873, the T67 got 615, and the T40 managed to get 611. So basically, he's got a clean sweep at the top, even though he shared that spot with the Hetzer on the number of kills. And if we look at detail report, we can see he fired 20 rounds of that gun, got 14 direct hits and 14 penetrations. Damage of 1,618 hit points, of which 232 were at more than 300 meters. He received 12 hits from the enemy. 8 of them were penetrations. The armor on the M4 is pretty poor, and just about anything that hits it is going to go through, I'm afraid. So unless you're driving the Thunderbolt, which has got all that extra armor added on top of it, you're going to find that most of those shells are going to go straight through and do a lot of damage on the inside. He also got 4 non-penetrations, so I think some of those rounds actually hit his tracks rather than actually hitting the actual main body of the tank, so they didn't go through. He blocked damage of 145 hit points. He spotted 7 enemy vehicles from the castle, and he damaged 6 of the enemy and killed 3 of them, and caused damage assistance of 106 hit points. On a premium count, he earned 46,137 credits, and after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, he took away 37,625 credits. He didn't use any premium ammo, he just didn't need to. The rounds on the standard AP are pretty good. They do penetrate the enemy, they do damage, and with 115 alpha, you don't need many shots to take down an enemy tank. He received 1 bond for getting the High Calibre, and he also got 1,309 XP times 2 for the first victory, 393 because this is a premium vehicle, and took away 3,012 experience points altogether. So the Fury, it's actually quite a good tank. It's better than the Easy 8 in terms of it's faster to turn and move about. It's got better ground handling, you might say. But is it better armoured than the Easy 8? Well, no, it isn't. I think the best feature about the Fury is that it does get better credits and it gets better crew training. But it's still easy to penetrate if you fire rounds at it. So you just don't want to get into a position where it does get penetrated. If you've got the Thunderbolt, on the other hand, that's a tank that you can go out in front and handle face-to-face fights with enemy tanks like the T-34-85, because you've both got a similar gun in terms of penetration, almost similar in terms of damage, but you've got that better armor on the Thunderbolt that actually helps you to survive so long as you don't anger your tank enough for them to shoot you in the rear. But a lovely game there by Town Terrier, and if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.